old Bible, you'll see Jesus had hair like wool.
Yes, sir.
He had skin with a dark olive hue.
He had skin of like you said, bronze. But then they went even further. They said like it was burned.
Listen, the old Bible that I read, the 50-year-old Bible, said that Jesus had hair like wool, and he had skin with a dark olive hue. What is wheat?
Yep. Look at you. That's why I said they don't want us looking at each other and seeing the image of Christ. They want us looking at each other with full of hate.
Samson, strongest man in the world, was born 1,000 years before Jesus. He came from Nazareth.
Well, do you know where tribe Samson's from? You probably not.
No.
Well, so that's not even the point. You on the right track, like you said.
Samson wore his hair in 7 locks. Delilah, now he used to hang out in Egypt. You see what I'm saying? Now Delilah cut his hair. I guess all that's symbolic. But Samson was black, man. See, Israel, that's North Africa. They try to make it seem like it's a separate country. Israel's in North Africa.
So you said the most influential man, Christ. You said the strongest man, Samson. Who else we got? We got the most wise man. You know who that is?
You know that it was Solomon.
Solomon.
King Solomon. Then you had
we got the greatest king.
What is it, Massa Musa?
Well, no, we got David, right?
King David.
King David, where did
Solomon's father.
That's Solomon's father, right? We got so many. We got the best of.
Well, see, I'm gonna tell you something now. When Dr. George G. James wrote The Stolen Legacies, Volume 1, 2, 3, and 4, he get killed. Okay. J.A. Rogers wrote a novel, From Superman to Man. He passed away. I believe they killed him. You know, you got Carter G. Woodson, who wrote The Miseducation of the Negro. You know, you have Dr. Naeem Akbar, who wrote, what was that he wrote? Well, I know that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, he wrote Message to the Black Man. But it's just, man. But I'm going to tell you who I still look up to. Brother Barack Obama.
No, okay, hold on. Let me ask you something. Do you think that all people in Africa that look like us, or that share some similarities to us, do you think that we're all the same people?
No, they was not. You know, we are made up of many different tribes. You see what I'm saying? We were the first. You know, tribe of Shabazz. We were the first. And
well, I asked you that for so like, because you were talking about people, great people, right? So Muhammad Ali, when he won the gold medal, before there was a restaurant that he wanted to go into. Before he won the gold medal, there's a restaurant that he wanted to go to that said no blacks allowed, right? So then he won the gold medal. He said they gotta accept me now because I won the gold medal for not just me, for America, right? So they gotta acknowledge that, they gotta respect that. So he went back to that store and he said, we still don't serve Negroes in this store. So he took that medal off, and as he's walking away, he sees some Africans walking in. They're in their traditional garb. They walk into the store and they get accepted and recepted like they got the same skin tone as us, but we know not all skin folk are kinfolk, right? So they got accepted, and then he said that's when he knew that there was a difference between them and us.
That's true. Let me tell you something. I'm scared that I think it was 12 Africans that was detained over here in New York back in the early 1800s by the white folks. We see slavery in Britain was outlawed in 1812. If they caught you bringing a slave across the ocean, you understand, after 1912, they arrested you and considered you to be a pirate. Well, now, I'm scared that case where the 12 Africans was allowed to go back to, they came from Senegal.
Okay.
they went back to Senegal and made slaves out of the other brothers.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 11 and verse 7. But against any of the children of Israel shall not a dog move his tongue against man or beast, that ye may know how that the Lord doth put a difference between the Egyptians and Israel.
So that was specific. So it's letting you know, even though it's in the same vicinity, even though they may share certain characteristics, there's still a difference, right? So Barack Obama, when you were talking about him, they prop him up because, hey, he's got dark skin. Hey, he talks a certain type of way. Hey, he dresses a certain type of way.
They let him be a president. Let me tell you something.
They let him be a president.
I hate to cut you off, young man.
You all right?
But you got to read the secret relationship between blacks and Jews by Dr. Khalid Muhammad. Okay?
What's that going to tell me?
It's going to tell you that the relation that the white Jews you see walking around here today, they're not the original Jews. The original Jews were black.
Hey.
They were Hebrews.
This book tells us that, though.
Okay. The Egyptians went over to South Europe, Crete, which is in Greece, and they enslaved a lot of white folks. Brought them over to Egypt to build the pyramids. Pharaoh Ramses. Okay, Ramses the Great. And when the white folks came over to be slaves from Greece, South Europe, they amalgamated with the black people. And this is why they call a Jew to this day a Semite. Root word being Semite, half off.
Well, we're a Shemitic people, right? We come from the people of Shem. So that's where the word Shemitic comes from, because we are the children of Shem. We come from his specific line.
That's Shemitic.
Right.
I said Semitic. Semitic. Semite.
Well, we know during different again, that's not either here or there, but we know that the Egyptian, because you were talking about the Egyptians, right? So Gaddafi, the president, he was saying that we can't trust the Jews. He said, why? He said, because when y'all left out, y'all were black. When y'all came back, y'all were white. So it goes exactly to what it is that you were saying. But again, this Bible also tells us that when that there will be certain people that will be calling themselves Jewish, right? Yeah. Because if I say that you're, the example that we use, if I say that you're childish, am I calling you a child?
Well, I'm gonna tell you something. You're gonna have to look up in some old dictionaries, because the original Christians are what you would call the ancient Memphites. That's a word you ain't even gonna find in these new dictionaries. Memphites,
right?
From Memphis, Egypt.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? Well, they the ones who wrote all of the Holy Scriptures. But after Pontius Pilate came, you understand, after they killed Caesar and Mark Antony and Cleopatra, they came, you understand, and they took they raided all the libraries. They took all the books back to Rome.
And the images.
And the images, they took that back to Rome, you understand? And that's where they put it back.
This is the book of Acts, chapter 11 and verse 26.
Work it out.
And when he had found him, he brought him into Antioch, and it came to pass that a whole year they assembled themselves with the church and taught much people. And the disciples were called Christians first in Antioch.
So that's who was first called Christians, right? The Israelites that the Bible speaks of.
I'm sorry to cut you off. I see black people of color, I'm happy. They like me.
Yep.
I ain't see no black people.
Yep.
I'm like, dang.
Yep.
It's scary. You know, because we ain't got nothing in common. See, I mean, you talking. How do we know that our great-great-great-grandfather wasn't talking to my great-great-great-grandfather? You understand? And then I just hate when a brother, you know, see another brother, you don't have no love for him, you don't speak to him.
Well, that's biblical.
Turn his nose up.
We were told.
We were taught that.
We were taught that, but it's also a curse that was put on us. We were taught not to trust each other, but we were told in this book since the very beginning that that's the way that we would know that we're the Israelites is by how we treat each other. Let me show you something.
Over here.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 54.
Bring it out.
So that the man that is tender among you.
So the man that you would not expect it from at all.
and very delicate. His eye shall be evil toward his brother.
His eye shall be evil toward his brother. Right? We walking up down the street, like you said, we don't even say hi to each other.
Hate each other, man. Worse than the white folks do.
For what? For what?
You know, because we black and they black. Willie Lynch in 1712 gave a famous speech, and he taught the slave masters and owners how to psychologically, you know. And we still going through it, right?
We're still going through it. Let me give you this real quick. It's a flyer, right?
Thank you.
You like
man.
information. I can tell you're very well versed in all the things that you read, which is good, because if you want to hide information from our people, where you put it?
In a book.
In a book, right?
And then you know what you do with the book?
What you do with that book?
You bury it in the library.
Yeah, buried in the library, and there's so many other distractions and things that we got, but that's full of information that I know that you'll take to, because it aligns with a lot of the things that you already think of. Like I said, our people are so indoctrinated with all these other things that we don't really take into consideration what it is that we're taking in.
It's terrible, man.
But you are what you eat, right? And that includes information as well.
Thank you very much, young
Yes,
man.
sir.
I'm gonna be on my way now. I'm
Yes,
gonna
sir.
have me a few drinks.
It's all good. Drink and be merry.
Intellectual conversation
Yes,
with
sir.
some intelligent young men.
Yes, sir.
And I salute you, brother.
Yes, sir. Just walk away knowing, like you said, you an Israelite that the Bible speaks of.
White folks, they always trying to block up black folks. Not just black folks, the young brothers. See, those are soldiers.
Yep.
Those are warriors.
Yep.
And the war that white man at work.
Yep. Yep.
You get them young, 17, 18, give them life.
Can you bring out that?
Send them to the penitentiary and let them out when they're old, man.
Let them out when in the world that passed them by. Everything that passed them by. People that forgot about them, that's the trick. Right?
Hey, God bless you, brother.
God bless you too, King.
It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 42, verse 22. But this is a people robbed and spoiled. They are all of them snared in holes, and they are hid in prison houses. They are for a prey, and none delivereth, for a spoil, and none saith restore.
I don't think people understand how biblical the things that we go through, how biblical they are. Right? We just think that these are just things that are put on our people. We just think that this is a way of life. We just think that this is how things are supposed to be. Right? Oh yeah, dad went to jail. You know what I'm saying? Well, mom gets in arguments with her daughters. She's jealous of her daughters. Things like that. Like these are just different things that we just grow up with, and we just think that this is how things are supposed to be. Right? This stuff is in the book. So if we can see that we go through these things, if we can see that these are things that are happening to a specific set of people, right? Somebody just posted something the other day, and they were saying it was an elderly white man and an elderly Native American man, right? And the white man was saying, well, how do you guys feel about Redskins? And the Native American said, well, when we see the Redskins, we see a lack of respect, because you guys tell with the blacks, you know, you look at them and they can see their pain through slavery. You look at the Jewish, they see their pain through the Holocaust, right? But when they look at the Native Americans, all they see is drunks, all they see is laziness, all they see is casinos, but they don't see the pain that they had on the Trail of Tears when they were trying to get up to Oklahoma. They don't see that they got to look up at the faces of the people that took their land on huge monuments carved up into the rocks, that they got to look at and know that they were conquered by those people. They said that they don't take that into consideration, so they said they can never fully accept the American dream because they know that the American dream is not meant for them. How profound is that, right? Because we are saying the same things. A lot of our Hispanic brothers and sisters thought that stuff was sweet over here, right? They thought that there was that separation. I know when I lived in Cali, there was that, the Hispanics out there, a good amount, not all, but a good amount of them, there was that clear separation between Hispanics and blacks, right? And now that ICE is going around and getting everybody, people that thought that they were safe, people that even went through got the proper documentation and things like that, now they're getting exported out of here. They're getting taken from their jobs. The wives are getting taken from their jobs, right? And so now the kids are wondering, when is mom coming home? The husband's like, when is she getting home? And she's sitting in the detention center somewhere, waiting to be deported. right? If you've ever seen those trucks are very akin to what they when they catch animals, when they catch stray animals out on the road. Very narrow, just little tiny holes for breathing and things like that. That's what they put our Hispanic brothers and sisters in, right? And they're taking them from their jobs, they're taking them from their homes, they're taking them right when they're at the gas station, wherever they can catch up to them, right? They do these things because of the documentation isn't the way that they want it, specifically the way that they want it, and they get them out of here. But these are people that voted this president into office because they like the ideals that he was talking about as far as business, right? You see that this president is going against somebody that we thought that he was cool with. Him and Elon Musk right now are having a whole back and forth publicly, but they want to talk about our people. They want to talk about our people airing our business and stuff out like that. But Trump and Elon Musk are going back and forth like two kids that just figured out how the internet works. Right? They just going back and forth. Well, Trump is on the Epstein list. You said what? And the puppy list. All right, brother. Right? And we staying out of it. Hey, I'm just gonna watch them. I just got the popcorn ready. I'm just watching them go. Right? Because they talk bad about us enough. You said what now? They tell him. Yep. Better them than us. Let the attention stay on them. Right? That's how it is. They're telling each other. They're telling each other's business. And there's so much information that they have. Not just those two, but there's so much information that they have on each other that they know is out there. Right? There's certain things like Brother Walk Around was talking about a few weeks back. Right? Everybody was so excited that the MLK files were coming out. Martin Luther King Jr. files. They were so excited they were coming out. Now we're going to find out what's really happening. Comes out, the report comes out. Martin was a cheater. Martin also, he was doing gay stuff with other men. It's like, this is not what the this is not what the report was supposed to be about. We was expecting to hear the CIA did it, right? Because we know that they had that his family, they won their suit, right? Because the government was behind it. So now we're ready to be like, see, anytime we got somebody great, the government comes in and they take them away, right? That's what we were ready to show everybody. But now we gotta show people Martin may or may not have been gay, right? He may or may not have been cheating. Coretta ain't never say nothing about it. Like, come on, bro. Like, if she didn't say nothing, it's not our place, right?